opening this meeting of the Local Government Committee in the House this February the 20th on Monday at 9:15 thereabouts a.m. And we will start with the minutes, approving the minutes of February 6th, 8th, and 13th. I'd entertain a motion for all of those or separately, depending on your need for discussion. Is there a motion concerning approval of the minutes?
I make a motion that we approve minutes from all three meetings.
Okay, Representative Underhill, who's a second? Seconded by Representative Amix. All right. And is there discussion on any of this before we vote? A lot of minutes. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, abstained, and the motion passes. We have a modified agenda from what some of you have seen and what we've all seen. We are going to simply be doing final action on two items. That's on HB 2376 and HB 2323. We will start with HB 2376, and you've seen it as was presented in the opening and the hearing, and there is an amendment to be distributed. I believe Jason's going to make that available and also going to explain it to us. Thank you. We'll just pass it around. Yes. Okay, and a point of privilege from the vice chair.
I really apologize to the committee and members of the audience. Once in a while you get caught in testifying in another committee in a particular bill I'd been working on for a number of years, had to testify. So I'm normally not late for anything unless my sweet wife's with me. Sometimes I am, but I do apologize to the committee in that. So thank you for that.
All right. And the amendment has a couple of sections, and Jason, if you would explain the amendment.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, the primary amendment in the balloon that was just passed out is to strike Section 2 in the bill in its entirety. And so you see that starting on page 1, line 31, and going to page 2, line 9. There's also a corresponding strike in the title of the bill, lines 4, 5, and 6, to remove that description from the bill. Secondarily, there's also an amendment to add a whereas clause to the bill that you can see there in the balloon to the right. This is simply a purpose statement for the legislative intent behind this legislation.
I'll go ahead and read the detail of that balloon. Whereas in honor of and in most respectful observance of Black History Month in Kansas, this august body representing the will of the people of Kansas hereby acts in accordance with the 1968 Fair Housing Act to comprehensively address and provide for release from the dark past of racial discriminatory restrictive covenants in the state of Kansas. Now, therefore, and that's just added before line 9. And the rest of it is as the reviser has made mention of and open for comments. Yes, ma'am.
So I appreciate the new language. Jason, can you confirm that this would allow the removal of covenants that restrict religions from buying houses or people of a certain religion from buying houses in areas? So in Johnson County, we have areas where Jewish people were restricted from buying homes. Would this cover removing those restrictions?
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, yes, it would. The prohibition on the restrictive covenants covers any covenant that is in violation of the Kansas Act Against Discrimination, which includes religion as a protected class.
Other questions? Okay, not seeing any. We appreciate the consideration of this amendment and would entertain a motion to approve this amendment. Mr. Vice Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to recommend that when the committee acts that we pass House Bill 2376 favorably as amended out of the committee.
And we'll have to take action to amend it first. This is a presented amendment. So would you like to make a motion regarding the amendment?
Yes, I would pass out this amendment as prepared.
And that's what I thought I heard. Is there a second? Okay. Representative Featherston, excuse me. I didn't mean to preclude anybody else here. And for discussion now on the amendment. Representative Amix.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Speaking, I guess on behalf of, the folks that I represent in the great state of Kansas, I think that this is a very good idea. I want to commend the chairman on bringing the amendment forward. I think it allows for ordinances that have been worked long and hard for non-discrimination back in our cities and our counties to continue to do the good work that they've done. So thank you very much for bringing this forward.
And I will give credence where credence is due. Representative Penn presented this amendment. Someone else? Okay. Yes. Ken?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Representative Tom.
I do support this amendment because having spent some time in local government on city councils, this would help. And say a city wanted to pass something that wouldn't really be contrary to this bill, but would be in addition to this bill. If there's a group of people that they wanted to protect, they would be able to do that. And for that reason, I support this amendment.
Anyone else? Okay. Mr. Vice Chair, you can move on your.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll hopefully get it right this time. Committee, I'd like you to ask favorable motion on House Bill 2376 as amended.
And we still have to vote on the amendment.
Oh,
I close on.
my mind must be in another committee. I'm sorry.
I was thinking that if it was mine, I'd probably say I close on my amendment.
Yeah. I will close on my amendment or
All right.
a amendment.
And is there a second? That's already been seconded. All right. And all in favor of the amendment, say aye. All opposed? Abstain? And we're back on the bill. Do you happen to have a motion on the bill ready and handy? Yes, sir.
Well, third time, I guess, maybe. House Bill 2376, I ask move favorably out of committee as amended. Thank you.
Is there a second? Seconded by Representative Amix. And if there's no further discussion, all in favor, say aye. All opposed? Abstain? And it passes to the House. Thank you for that consideration. Now we will move on to final action for House Bill 2323, providing for the detachment and transfer of fire district property annexed by a city. I would recognize Representative Essex for a comment. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I do have a few comments. Wanted you to know that, remind everybody, this is Johnson County only. And we are moving forward with their blessing. Since the time restriction was so short to today, they would like to have a few word changes for an amendment that we will bring on the House floor, just some minor changes. And all this does is puts a time frame for fire district detachment to a full year. And this is exclusively for our taxpayers in the area. So.
Okay. And so what you're asking is if there's a motion and a second and approval for this to go to the House, that your intent, you're just stating your intent that you plan to bring some technical corrections.
Yes, to
and
honor
an amendment to the House floor. Okay. So the bill would go to the floor clean. And if it was worked on the House floor, then there would be a possible amendment.
Thank you for the clarification.
Okay. Is there a motion regarding 2323? Okay, Representative Andrea, please.
Make a motion that we pass House Bill 2323 out of committee as favorable.
Okay, is there a second? Seconded by Representative Amix. Essex, different X. All right, and if there's no further discussion, all in favor, you may close. Representative Andrea.
I close on my motion.
Okay. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Abstain? And we are passed. We have no other action items on the agenda. I think our committee has worked hard through a number of different jugglings and wranglings through and discussions. And I look forward to working with you after the turnaround to deal with whatever the Senate provides. And we don't know what that is yet. So I believe we're done with our business till turnaround. And I just want to thank you, and we'll move on and adjourn this meeting. We are adjourned. Thank you.